Too many dreams, books, millionaires, ideas, skills, unfinished accomplishments are in the grave. Take a moment and think, what am I doing between the dash? You have to move right now because tomorrow is not promised. Join the Divine Connections movement in a couple of ways. 1, download the app for free. 2, subscribe to Divine Connections magazine. 3, if you have a book, a product, a service, gospel music, business, health and wellness product, church, or anything creative, join the Divine Connections Movement VIP and make a commitment to join a network that supports others, give you major exposure, customer retention, and customer engagement. To find out more about VIP, text 336-338-8903 or email divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com.
Divine Connection Marketing is a 500 Fortune company that can always connect you to the right connection. Check them out.
Businesses all across the planet are looking to make connections with people. Well, guess what? Divine Connections Magazine is helping businesses not only walk in their purpose and passion, but to get connected to their potential. That's right. You've got to connect to your potential, and you can make it happen now because it is time to know your worth. As you get connected to people all across the planet, Divine Connections Magazine will make it happen. And get featured in the magazine today and get your copy now, because there's no other time than a divine time to get connected to Divine Connections Magazine.
Well, welcome everyone to Divine Connection Show. I'm your host, Deloris Williams. Hope all is well. Make sure you like and share this broadcast as we continue to share with you great information. Divine Connection is a faith-based and inspirational magazine that comes out quarterly in print as well as online. We connect with different businesses, entrepreneurs, gospel artists, praise dance, mimes, vendors, authors, pastors, anyone that's doing something great in the community. We also host 2 events a year. With those events, we network, we have speakers, we have vendors, we have youth vendors, and we network and worship together and bring the community together to network. And then we also have our interviews or our podcast here on Wednesdays between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. And we bring on guests that are making a great impact in the world, and they are making it happen. And we share their information and what they're doing and their contact information with you so you can connect with them. And now I'm so excited to announce that we have our Divine Connection app is now available. You can go to your Play Store and type in Divine Connections Magazine and download the app. And we're going to do a lot of great things with the app. So if you want to get connected, make sure you stay connected. I'll give you more information on how to connect with us shortly after our sponsors. So hold tight.
Buying, selling, or investing in real estate? You need a trusted lawyer with over 30 years of experience. You need the law offices of Gregory G. Johnson. He's handled thousands of closings and has earned the trust of countless clients. New home buyers, call attorney Gregory Johnson. He'll protect your interests and save you money. You need the law offices of Gregory G. Johnson. Get the expert advice and counsel you deserve by calling the law offices of Gregory G. Johnson at 1-800-930-9778.
To love is to protect. The ones you love with whom you laugh every morning, who are there to listen to you and wipe your tears in the most difficult moments, are your companions forever, the reason to live harder every day. Have you thought about how to protect them and protect yourself when one is missing? We know the most important thing is your family's peace of mind, so you and your family can dedicate this time to honor and celebrate the life of your loved one. Over the last 70 years, we have been there. Our funeral assistance plans can protect up to 7 people, regardless of your relationship, in a safe and affordable way. Our services include funeral services in the coverage areas, transfer of the deceased to a local funeral home, cemetery or crematorium within the United States, transfer of the deceased to the country of origin in the coverage area, airline ticket for the plan holder to attend the service of his or her loved one, protecting your family with a beautiful gesture of love.
Awesome. Now take that information from our sponsors and definitely connect with them. And they're doing great things in the community. So if you need more information, please reach out to them. So Divine Connections, how do you stay connected? You can go to our website at divineconnectionsmagazine.com for updates and news. We also have our Facebook page, is Divine Connections Marketing. We can follow us on Instagram at Divine Connections, and you also can subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Divine Connections, and also click the notification button so you will be notified whenever we are on. Awesome. We definitely have an opportunity for you right now. We have one more quarter that we are working on currently. So if you have a business, if you have great information, if you have a product, if you have a service, if you have a ministry, and you want to share that with the masses, make sure you get a spot in the Divine Connections magazine, the last quarter for the year. So if you're interested, go ahead and text 336-338-8903 or email me at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com. Listen, if you have not ordered your copy of Divine Connections magazine, we are here. These are our magazines for this quarter, so check it out. You have Mr. Stan Matthews on one and Dr. Sugar Trash on one. So go check it out if you haven't gotten your copy. A lot of great information are in here. A lot of connections are in here. So make sure you go get your copy or get a couple of copies, because you want to share this with your church, with the community, with your network, because a lot of great information is in here about events and everything, and resources, products, resources that are making it happen. And so you want to make sure you stay connected. So you can get a hard copy or you can get a digital copy as well. So just go to the link below, divineconnectionsmagazine.com/subscriptions. Also, if you would like to be a sponsor on the show and you have a 30-second commercial already, we would love for you to be a part and help spread your good news. It's a 3-month agreement for only $150. If you have a 30-second commercial already, we will run it for 3 months as we are on here on Wednesdays, and it will run before or after the interview so people can know who you are, what you do, and more information about you, and they can contact you. If you need a 30-second or a 60-second commercial for your business, we customize those as well. For businesses, ministries, if you have a book, if you have a gospel group, if you have an event, we would love to create a 30-second or a 60-second commercial for you. Just email us or text us as well. I'm also grateful for the opportunity to share with you my second book, which is called The Key Connector: How to Build an Empire Helping People. I talk about the accomplishments that I have accomplished in my life with the help of the Lord, as well as my accomplishments with my business, Divine Connections, and how I have built my empire. So if you want to know how I do what I do, get a copy of The Key Connector: How to Build an Empire Helping People. It is on Amazon, or you can go to the link below, or just contact me and we'll send out a signed copy, okay? And then we also have our journals as well, Making It Happen. You are a Divine Connections. And so we write the vision, make it plain, execute, and celebrate. Everything that we do with the help of the Lord, we look back and we are grateful and we're thankful that He has given us the energy and the time and the grace to do what we do. And so we write our vision. So I would love for you to journal with us. It's called Making It Happen. You are a divine connection. And if you are in Greensboro, North Carolina, anytime, or you're traveling or you're here, it is in Friendly Shopping Center at the Ben Boys Restaurant at Next Chapters Bookstore. All right. And both the journal as well as the book are in the store. So I'm grateful for that opportunity as well. Listen, it is getting cold. Winter is coming and Christmas is coming as well. So Divine Connection Store is now open. You simply go to bit.ly/Divine Connection Store. We have hats, we have hoodies, we have shirts, we have socks, we have pillows, we have jackets, and branded with all Divine Connections and some other things as well. So go check it out. You are a Divine Connections, and then send somebody a gift to let them know that they are your divine connection. All right. So we're grateful for that opportunity as well. And so that is the information we have right now. So take that information, touch bases with us if you need it. And so now we're going to get to the good information today with our guest. Dr. Marie is in the house, you guys. We get ready to learn some stuff, hear some stuff, make some connections, and make it happen. So we're going to bring her on in, our special guest. So help me welcome Dr. Marie.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see
Audience,
you.
amazing. New season, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Wonderful.
Definitely new season. So I'm excited to have you on. So let's share with the audience a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Sure. So I am a wellness coach and best-selling author. I am based in Boston, originally from the Caribbean. And so this winter you're talking about, I'm still adjusting to low temperatures because I'm so used to just palm trees and water. But it's a beautiful thing that really complement what I do as a wellness coach, because it really encourages people to really think about how they're being well, but also the idea of like, how do you prioritize your own self-care, your own peace of mind, and your joy? Like that is so key, no matter what season it is, to really know that you're worthy of being well.
Awesome. I love, and that's having balance in your life as well, or prioritizing you as being a priority and taking care of yourself so you can be the best that you can be. And then anything that you have to do, whether it's a ministry, whether it's family, that you give them the best you that you can be.
Yes. And that's by taking care of you first.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's get into a little bit more about the wellness.
Sure.
And how important that is.
So the wellness is key, and for me it's related to everything. So it's almost a non-negotiable part of our lives. And so many of us, particularly for women, we're doing everything for everyone 24/7, pre, during, and hopefully post-pandemic, that we just go, and we don't really take care of self from the inside out. And so for me, that became a reality because watching the women in my family, from my aunt, my mother, I lost my mom 5 years ago to breast cancer. And so for me, the only reason she stopped working was because she was sick. But it was just like nonstop work was the life. It was literally work in no particular order, church, family, and combination, sometime happening on the same day. And so even being like, literally on her deathbed, where she was just thinking about like, oh, I don't want all this attention toward me, and to still be working so hard, even when you're sick. And I still see that a lot in other people and friends, where you literally work yourself into the grave. You don't know what it means to be tired. You don't know what it means to be still. You can't sit down, and you always undergo thinking that's what it means to live. And so for me, it's really about, how can I use that as an example? Because I thought, I cannot work cannot become my purpose. Job, working 24/7, going from one thing through the other. And I know her reason was because she wanted to take care of myself and my two sisters. But it doesn't mean you have to neglect yourself to do it. And so I had to unlearn some things to say, how do I do it differently? And for me, it's about not just wealth. We talk a lot about wealth building, but it's also seeing health as part of our legacy. generational help is as important as generational wealth. And without your help, you cannot even be building anything,
Yeah.
right? And so sometimes you leave that behind as well. And so for me, part of my purpose is to make sure that I'm teaching others while I'm practicing wellness as a lifestyle, not because I have a diagnosis or because I need to lose 5 pounds or whatever it is, but it's really about me being well every single day. It's my lifestyle in terms of how I'm taking care of myself, how I'm showing up for myself. And then from that overflow, from me being so full that I can do for others in that order, not like others and then yourself, right? Which is what we learn to do.
Awesome, awesome. And so you teach wellness and different principles on how to basically bring everything to the center to help yourself, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your classes and what you provide or service.
Sure. So some of the classes you really enjoy them is journaling is key in terms of really your mindset, what you're thinking. A lot of the time, it's really the self-talk, the negative self-talk, and how we see ourselves. That's really sometimes worse than the external critics. Who you think you are, who you becoming, who you being. So that's the piece really thinking about who are you, right? Before you start even looking at all the other stuff to do, because it's so easy to get a bottle, to get a pill, to get a thing, to get a product. But let's look at the whole person and seeing who do you want to be?
Yeah.
What are you willing to do to become that person who has a full life that's healthy, full of joy? And of course, how do we reduce that stress that's in everyone's life, right? A lot of the time we're doing things I love it, but that's the thing that's the source of your stress. So how do you minimize that stress? And so similar to you, one thing I did, I created a 30-day sacred self-care journal where every single day you do a little something to take care of yourself. You do something that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
You share affirmation. You start your day in a particular way, which literally set the tone for the rest of your day. And so for me, everything we do is about planting seeds.
Yeah.
How are you planting those seeds every day? Are you watering them? Are you nurturing them? And how are you nurturing yourself? And a lot of it for me, I used to feel so guilty, like you should have known this because you do it for other people. So my first step, even after really taking the time to be, what do I want to be? Who do I want to be in becoming? I forgive myself for not knowing better because I didn't know better. I wasn't taught, I wasn't programmed to do so. And so giving ourselves grace, because a lot of time we are so harsh, like, oh, you should know better. You've done this. And because you're doing so much for other people, you think it was just going to naturally apply to your life. So those are the key. I would say the first is to always take that time, to really take time to pause and be still and be with your own thoughts, right? Because you see people running 24/7. The second is just the idea of just taking time to reflect and journal. It doesn't mean you're writing like a 10-page, like you have a whole book. You don't need to be writing a whole book daily. Just like take a few minutes to simply write, how do I feel? What is my mood? And what is your intention for the day?
Yeah.
And third, I would say, is really to think about what are you feeding your mind? Now, you probably think I'm going to say, what are you feeding your body?
That's right.
Mind first.
That's good. Yeah.
What do you think? Do you agree in terms of we're going to go mind first and then we'll do the rest?
Yeah. I was just thinking how my mind goes because it'd be all over the place.
Yeah.
And then I just have to bring it in. Okay. This, especially with what I'm going through right now, physically, like I was just saying, I had surgery. And so it's just like everything has to slow down. Your body has to heal itself. And it's going to be okay. It'll be there when I get back. But, and then just the education and the knowledge of what I've been through. I didn't know anything about it. And the process I had to go through to get to where I'm at now. And it's just, information, knowledge, taking the time to learn, ask questions. Other people may have went through some of the things that I've went through and I didn't know it, but now I'm learning, but going through the process at the same time. And it's all about decision making, but you have to keep yourself as priority for sure. And anything that you see that's out of balance or out of the norm, then ask about it or go to the doctor. I mean, like, you really do have to focus on you, because if you don't, it'll catch up with you.
It
you
will.
know?
It will. It will. And listening to your body, right? We talked about the mind, but listening, because I know a lot of us, we think we have this threshold for pain, and sometimes we feel funny. We're like, something just doesn't feel right. This shouldn't be happening.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't see it as urgency to go say, you know what? I can only be in pain for so long. And I know so many people where it's been like months or years until it turned into something unnecessarily worse than it needs to be, or something preventable,
Yeah.
instead of checking it and see, okay, what is this? I'm feeling this way. And even if the person is saying, oh no, it's nothing, we don't see anything, trust your gut. Like
Right.
you will know your body in terms of, when I feel good, this is how I am. When I don't feel good and something doesn't feel right, even if no one gets it, you have to advocate for your own wellness.
Right.
And other people are not expert of your body. You know your body to know something is not right. And then the other piece, even everything we're going through, I would add would be as one of the seeds. So when I talk about seed, it's really your healthy habits.
Yeah.
It's gratitude. Regardless of what's
Mm.
going on every day, just to wake up and say, I have breath, my heart is still beating, I can see sunshine or snow, depending on where you are.
Right.
I have a roof over my head. I literally could go on a rampage, regardless of what's going on, to say there are so many things to be grateful for in this moment. And
Mm-hmm.
to really acknowledge that the moment you wake up and throughout the day, because there's always something. So I ask people literally for one, sometimes three. And if you really get it and make it a habit, you should be able to have 10, 20 things to just say, these are all the things I'm grateful for, and there's so much more. And I think that's part of being well, is being a grateful person.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. What else do you do other than being a wellness coach?
So what else? Everything is combined with that. I write. So
Okay.
part of it is also sharing through different platforms. I think part of it is really, how can I share it with people to really digest it well?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's the one-on-one coaching, sometimes it's group coaching, sometimes it's speaking and doing events. And right now, to me, it's really about collaboration and partnering with other coaches and other experts in terms of relationship building. So I'm working with an amazing coach, Yvel Vertil, where we're really teaching people relationship with self, relationship with others, and what does that mean to cultivate and elevate your relationships on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Because if your relationship is suffering, if your health is suffering, everything is going to fall apart. And so a lot of it always start with self. Because
Yeah.
I see a lot of people looking for things, and I'm like, do you have a good relationship with yourself? Would you want to be with yourself? And so they're looking for other people before you get grounded with who you are and the relationship you have with yourself. Because sometimes people don't even know themselves,
That's
and
right.
going to other people for that validation, to tell them who they are, what they want, what they need. And so part of it is really, we're going back inward. Like, who are you? What do you want? What do you want? What impact do you want to make in the world? And this is a journey. It's not something you're going to sit down, like they're going to take your journal and be like, okay, I figure it out.
Right.
This is me. It's literally a journey, regardless of your age now or who you becoming, what's going on next year, next season, in
Mhm.
terms of always evolving, always growing, always thriving, and always surrounding yourself with other people who are also on that path.
That's right.
Sometimes we surround ourselves with people who are not in alignment of who we are, who we're becoming, and who we're being.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so those values, if they're not in alignment, you're always going to be questioning
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing. And so having doubts doesn't help. That's another thing that may
Yeah.
also add to being unhealthy, and it's unnecessary. But if you have people who are positive, they are joyful, they are grateful, they want to do more, they're making a contribution in society. And the other piece is just, like I said, feeding your mind. Like, there's always a positive, a book, a video, a podcast, and it's
Yeah.
literally all those things are going in your subconscious versus watching negative things, being surrounded by negative people, reading things that make you feel horrible. All
Mm-hmm.
that is going to add up in terms of you feeling sick
Yeah.
and feeling unhealthy and not fully as healthy as you can be because of all these different elements. I know sometimes people think it's going to be eat this, drink this, don't do that, stretch and work out and jump and do 10 miles. I'm like, no. The health starts from within, and it starts from your mind as well. And so to really see that's really important. And so the book sometimes that I'm writing, so
Okay.
the first book that I wrote is about thriving post-COVID, and that was at the height of COVID
Mm-hmm.
as one of the contributors for that series of book. And many amazing authors came together in terms of really thinking about what healthy habits. That book was one habit that would help you get, to thrive post-COVID. COVID will come to an end. It will not continue. And
Mm-hmm.
then the other piece was, my own journal that you can read. You have affirmation and intention and all these pieces. And then
Mm-hmm.
the third, I think all this happened during the pandemic. The third is really about who influenced you. And I had an opportunity to really talk about the lessons that I learned from my grandmother, my aunt, my mother, and so many others around me. And part of that is for me honoring my ancestors, regardless of what they may know or not know. I'm here because of them, the sacrifices that they made, and how do I continue that legacy. And so that book is really about that, but to continue teaching that piece.
Yeah.
And then the other part that's been happening is really, it's a combination of Black girl joy in terms of
Yeah.
what do I do that truly make me happy. And so part of wellness is traveling, seeing the world, going to different places,
Yes, for sure.
writing that message, and not taking it only like, oh, I need a break or I'm escaping from my life, but choosing places that nourish you, that you're curious about. You're meeting people that, again, that they're in alignment with your purpose. And so to me, that's the most beautiful thing, to be on a beach and still doing what I do. One of my biggest dreams is doing retreats
Okay.
around the world, traveling and teaching people that message, but practicing it. Now, we talk so much. I mean, I'm sure you hear it: self-love, self-care. We have to do things in joy. We are so good with the talk, but
Mm-hmm.
it's really how do we practice it and make it part of our lifestyle, no matter what's going on, and to know that our well-being is non-negotiable. Like a lot of us, like I've had so many people who are like, when I finish with this, then we can start. When I'm done with this family member, then I can start on me. And I'm like, I love how some people talk like tomorrow is promised. So
Mm.
for fact, like we're gonna have time tomorrow when we have now, and there's some small steps you can take for your own well-being. And so all of that is in combination. And the other piece I've been adding, Dennis, who is a financial expert, is thinking of ways where you get stressed because of financial issues.
Mm-hmm.
And that became part of wellness. And as we were having great discussion, thanks to you, I feel like we got to know each other more in terms of our work, and
Mm-hmm.
how there was a thread between wellness and financial, building building wealth. And so as we were talking, like, oh my God, those same people, being well is also being able to like build wealth and knowing and not be stressed by
Yeah.
lack, or not being stressed because you don't have this, right? And so as we started talking, we saw there's an opportunity for us to collaborate and teach people about both, because if you stress about money,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to affect everything else. If you're not sleeping well because you're like, oh my God, what if I get fired? What if I don't get this? What if they take the house? All that is gonna contribute to you being unhealthy, right? And I was just like, I didn't even see that connection until, we already knew each other, but after we met through your event, I was just like, oh my God. I'm
Mm-hmm.
so grateful that we were able to have more conversation and connection. To me, making connection, just like your mission,
Yeah.
part of being healthy, having those relationship and connection through your life cycle is
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah.
Especially now, even virtually, to be able, you have someone you can talk to, you can connect with people, meet new people.
Mm-hmm.
Again, during the pandemic, people from different part of the world, they don't have to be in your city, your country, or even your town. And those things, I think, they truly fuel a whole being. Just meeting people that you have so much in common with, and they're excited about life, they're doing things, and then you able to see how that human connection, that
Right.
divine connection, as you call it, is everything. Like
Yes.
they
Yeah.
get, I can get through anything because of that. And sometimes all it takes is that one person. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. It doesn't have to be like hundreds of people. We live in a culture of like followers and likes. One person,
Mm-hmm.
one relationship, one collaboration where you literally connect and you're like, oh my God, everything makes sense.
I love it. I love it. And you also plant plants and vegetables and few, maybe.
I do. So I see, as you know, eating, nutrition is really important. What we put in our mouths, what we put on our skin, what we smell, the stuff, all this stuff really affect us, especially as women. Sometimes we're like, why am I feeling a certain way? It could be a food that you ate. There's a chemical in there. It could be those sprays in the house or the stuff you're washing your dishes with. And so for me, it's really part of that is being green, but also learning if I grow what I can. I still live in the city. If I grow what I can, I know exactly what's in it. I planted the seed, I water it, and when it grows, I know exactly what that is. And so I'm able to grow things in containers. Like this summer, it's like I had peppers, I had tomatoes, I have a lemon tree that was growing inside my place.
Oh, nice.
It was potatoes. I haven't even harvested them yet. They're still out there. And so sometimes I know people think like I need all this land, but even being surrounded by plants, as you can see, is like I can't turn my camera without seeing plants. And that's part of really having a space that is sacred where you feel calm and not more stressed out. And I feel like having plants in your space, learning how to grow them. Sometimes people are so afraid, but even having green inside your place, right? Sometimes we think like we need to be out. I need to put them in the ground. And my place literally, it feels like a plant sanctuary, like I'm in a nursery, like wherever you turn, there's a plant somewhere. But also teaching others like how to do that in terms of whether it's one, you don't have to be like me where you have like 20, 30, wherever you go, but just knowing, looking at something green, regardless of the season, it makes you feel, to me, I feel more human when I'm surrounded by plants, when I have water, like any natural elements where it's not just like things that are synthetic is really important. And so I've been learning how to do that. And ultimately, the big dream right now is like, as I'm meeting people, is to really have my own wellness center where it's like, that's the hub where people come together, whether it's like the books, the plants, how we're learning so many different ways of being. And to me, it's all about the connection. I want it to be the spot where people come together. You're learning, you're meeting new people, we're sharing our gifts. And that's the other part sometimes too, where people don't get to share their gifts. So even if you still have a job or you have a business and multiple things, to me, it's still about being joyful and grateful every day, no matter what you do. And so the wellness center will be that place to be able, you can come to, you can bring friends, you can stay, you can learn, you can grow and discover you. Because I think a lot of time we left that behind in the process of taking care of other people. And so at some point it would be nice, not even just nice, it would be amazing to know that you can rediscover yourself. If you feel like, okay, you know what, I think I let that go, or you abandon your own self to say, I can take time for me and not feel guilty.
Right.
Apologize for be like, I need to go here, relax, recharge, reset, and then go back to the world and not feel guilty for taking care of yourself.
Right. I know I was starting to plant different things, and I started planting some broccoli and collard, and then they died. And I was like, no. But my broccoli, I guess I forgot what the little green little worms were. They were eating up my broccoli. And then somebody had said something about 7 dust. So I went to Home Depot, and got some spray with 7 dust. And I still I didn't start watering it. I kept watering it, and now my broccoli is sprouting. And I'm like, wow, look at there.
Yes, I'm glad you didn't give up. No, it's a process, as you know. And so you try different things. And right now is winter, so it's very different in terms of what can you grow. And that's my dream, is to also grow year round. So because, when you're on the East Coast or different part of the world, you can't grow certain things. But it's also a way for me to learn to treat myself almost like as a season, right? Like I eat certain things at different time. I plant certain things. Can you imagine? I can only eat what I grow based on the season. And I think that's another way to learn how to treat myself. And that's where the plant idea came. It really came from other people in terms of it wasn't something I learned how to do. But again, I grew up with women where the kitchen was outside. So, after you cleaning yourself, you just throw it in the ground. It didn't seem that complicated, right? So if your kitchen is outside, whatever you wash something, your fruit, your veggie, you just like throw it and things just grow. Flowers just grow. And so I'm used in that environment where it's like you grow what you eat. And so part of it is also, as I'm taking care of those plants and teaching others how to do it, it also teaches you how to take care of yourself. Like you probably like, let me water it, but you may not need water. You have to look and be like, what does the plant need? What's getting to it, right? You discover the source was those pests. It wasn't like the plant just didn't want to do anything. But it's the same for us where you're like, how am I feeling? Taking your own impulse. Like some people just like they water everything. I'm like, look at the plant. Does it look like it needs water? So it's the same for us. Like, are you thirsty? Are you hungry? What do you need? And to be able to take care of yourself the same way. So for me, through plant care, it really sort of amplified my self-care where I'm like, okay, am I really taking and then you know how sometimes you have to put plant in a certain place? Is this for you? Like you feel great when you're sitting in your favorite chair or in your office or in your favorite room. And so that's the same thing where it's like there's certain plant, you put them in a place, they're not gonna do well. Or if you think you're gonna be moving them around, no. It's like, leave me alone. This is a good spot. If they're flourishing where they're at, leave them where they're at. And so it's been amazing to tie all that together, but all of it, it's all connected in terms of the idea of being green, being healthy. But the goal is to be healthy inside and out.
That's
and
right.
to flourish. It shouldn't be stressful
That's
to
right.
take care of yourself and feel like, oh my God, this is work. It
Yeah.
shouldn't work. So once it's a lifestyle, it's something you do every single day effortlessly. And you want to thrive. Like to me, I'm done with the struggle, the surviving, and the being tired all the time. Like for me, it's all about all the work is about energy and
Yeah.
grounded, joy, gratitude, and truly like feel like connected connected to a planet, connected to people, and connected to my purpose, no matter what I'm doing, no matter what.
I love it. What are some plants people can have inside their house that gives them, just fresh air or breathe in good stuff? What plant is one?
Ooh, I have some favorites. So right now I have a fiddle fig you're seeing behind me, and people sometimes are very afraid. They're like, it's going to die. And I'm like, no, it's not. I was very afraid of getting this plant because you see it in a lot of fancy magazines and people are getting it. Pothos, you see those in office all the time, and you can easily find them at the grocery store or anywhere. The ZZ plant is like an amazing little plant that doesn't really require much. And so really think about your environment like everything else. Just like I was saying, like, think about who are you? Like, there are certain things you may like and I may not like. I have a banana plant that's just, it's not going to produce anything, but it's that tropical feel. So it's really about how do you want to feel? So you don't want to just get anything because that's the latest thing or everybody has it. But it's really like which one fits with you, which one fits with your space. And I know people always concerned, I'm going to kill it. And it's okay, right? It's like, don't judge and really be harsh. It's like, to me, this is learning about life and lessons and so forth. So, but everything I have, they're tropical. They're very tropical. I have a bird of paradise. I have two little one bird of paradise that I also have. And so a lot of things are just like, how am I feeling? The different things that do well in my space. So you have to really think about, do you have a space with tons of light? Like for me, I have a lot of light, which is the reason a lemon tree can be inside my place because it's like right by the window. So you can get those all the time. Think about the plant. Does it need a lot of water? Do you travel a lot? So you have to think about the kind of plants that goes with your lifestyle and who you are. If you have time to water some things, like I love the peace lily is beautiful, and I've had some that are giant. They almost look like bird of paradise because they're so huge and they flower. Right? We'll have that indoors and have things flowering during the winter. I was like, this is amazing. But I call them they're drama queens. So sometimes they just I'm sure you've seen it. They just droop down when they need to be watered, and a lot of times people think, oh my God, I killed it, but it's just because they need water. And so once you do that, perk up back, and then again. So there's so many that people can choose. And that's the other piece. Sometimes people do ask me to come in and say, let's do a session. They can ask their questions. They can bring their plant. Sometimes I do feel like a doctor when it comes to a plant ghost whisperer where I'm like, okay, bring it to me. Orchids are beautiful, but sometimes people do too much with them. And so they don't last for a long time. So I think it's just learning and seeing where can we go. Because usually the resources in our community, like I'm lucky we have one nursery that's like owned by Black women. And I'm just like, oh my God. But then we have that space where we can go and learn how do we take care of the plants, and not to give up thinking like, oh, this happened last time, I'm never
Right.
gonna get another one again.
Yeah.
So, but don't be afraid. Pick one,
Mm-hmm.
goes. And even with planting stuff, I mean, I plant flowers outside too. So sometimes I'll just plant like morning glories, which are beautiful annuals, and then I'll get my seed. I literally was thinking maybe I should include some seeds with my journal for people,
Oh yeah.
because that would be a beautiful thing. Because those will always come out. I love right now. Mom's is in season because of winter, and so I get what's in season. Like I'm not gonna try to bring something that's not its time,
Right.
like in the summer, hibiscus this summer was amazing. I thought I would have to be in a hot southern or island environment. And there I was like, I can't believe this is growing in a container, which was really beautiful. So, when you go to the store, wherever, you could be the grocery store or your garden center, look and see what's in season.
Yeah.
And you can easily read about, there's an app for everything, just like your app. There's an app for everything. So if you look and see, okay, what does that plant need? Will it fit in my place? And in worst case scenario, it's like, that's the beauty of my name. Talk with Marie. You can talk to me about just about anything that has to do with wellness, with plants, and things you're thinking of trying. And the beauty of that, you can always build a community about things you enjoy. And so even online, you find people who like, we talk about plants all day. Once I'm done with you here, hour, I have a group where we're going to talk about plants, what's in the house, and then what are we planning for this season. And I think part of it is the same way, where it's like you personally, your audience, and others, what seed do you want to plant this season? We start with one. It doesn't have to be 10 seeds, right? And so, like, is it you planting seeds of joy, of gratitude, of self-care, or legacy? Like, there's so many seeds you get to plant. And so that's the nice thing about, you get to do that too. And so you have to first plant it, right? There's a lot of people who are like, I want this. And I'm like, did you plant something? You can't harvest nothing.
What you put in the ground, that part. Yeah.
Nothing was put down. But they probably look at your garden and be like, or look at your life and be like, I want that. And I'm like, Deloris has been working on this for years.
That part.
Time cannot be your harvest time because you did not do step one.
Right.
Something. Or forget the planting. Get the soil going.
That's right.
Set that up and then think about what is that one seed that I want to plant this season, and then go from there. And it's the same with self-care. What is that one thing I do every day just for me to feel good inside and out?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love what you're doing. I love the combination of everything that you're doing, because it's definitely much needed. So
it's great. And I think finding other people like you, I'm sure you yourself, you're creating the opportunity for more of us to meet. Like, I meet an amazing self-love. We didn't even talk about self-love, where I have this amazing coach where it was all about self-love. Like, how do we do that and not feel like, oh my God, I'm being selfish, which is very different. So I had to learn from someone else, Tracy King, who's an amazing, literally the life midwife, and saying, you are worthy of loving yourself first. And that's not selfish, right? It's the same of you. People be like, it's always you. And I'm like, so who else should it be? And if I take care of me, you know what happened? I can take care of you, our community, and the world, which we're already doing. But for once, let's put ourselves first.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And if somebody is interested and wanted to know how they can connect with you and find out more information, how do they connect with you?
I am on social media, all social media. Talk with Marie. You can find me. And my digital card is on screen. Again, it's Talk with Marie, digitalvcard.com. Then you get all the link. You get the journals, all the goodies, what's coming up. And then the key thing, as your audience is watching, is to connect. It's not enough to just listen. If there's something we both shared and you're like, oh my God, I can use this. Or who do you know, right? You know someone who can benefit from what we're sharing, and to be willing to share that information with them for their well-being, right? And so as you're listening, share this information with other people, because my thing is I really want our whole community, a global community, to be well. So if I'm well, I want to make sure you well and other people are well together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So excited. Thank you for your time and information. You are awesome, awesome, awesome. So you guys make sure you stay connected to Miss Dr. Marie. She has a lot of great things going on. I know I'm going to stay connected with her because it's a lot of things we got to do. Anyway, but I'm excited and thank you for your time and your knowledge and sharing with us today. So hold tight. I am Deloris Williams with Divine Connections. Make sure you guys stay connected to the number one divine connector, which is Jesus Christ. We're going to turn it over to our sponsors. And Dr. Marie, just hold on tight for me and I'll get right back to you. Hold on.
Hey, we've got exciting news from Divine Connections Marketing Services. Now you can create your own custom video commercial for your business or organization. It's time for you to win. Your product or service is someone's solution. So get the attention of your potential customers now. Choose from a 30 or 60-second commercial today. Just email us at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com and we can get started. Connect today and let's get started making your custom video commercial now.
Divine Connections Magazine. Get major exposure for your business. Is someone looking for your service? Do you need networking? Are you a gospel artist or a ministry? Do you have a major event that you want to promote? Divine Connections Magazine has the solution for you. We can distribute to residents, businesses, churches, and online. Don't miss this opportunity to expand your marketing locally and around the world. Find out more about us at divineconnectionsmagazine.com. Get your spot in the next issue of Divine Connections Magazine by emailing us for details at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com.
Make sure to like us on Facebook at Divine Connections Marketing. Follow us on Instagram at Divine Connections.
Let's get it started now.